It's time now to hit the water with fishing legend Tim Morgan and learn how technology is helping us catch those elusive fish at the Port of Brisbane.
Hi, I'm Tim Morgan from BLA, and today we're going to be talking about the Moogerah electric motor. It's probably one of the greatest advancements in technology that we've seen for the fishing guys. I'm a keen fisherman. Some of the technology in this motor now is unbelievable. So we'll put it in the water and I'll run it through its paces for you. So to me, as a fisherman, I do a lot of lure fishing, and it's really important to put your lures in the right spot. With a big boat like this, the wind blows you, the current knocks you around, and it's really hard to keep in position. That's where the Moogerahs come into their own. It's a really quiet motor, so it won't spook the fish, but allow me to position the boat right where I want it quietly, put my lure where the fish are, and hopefully catch a few fish. So the motor we're using today is a Moogerah iPilot. It's a bow mount motor, and the reason we've got it on the bow of the boat, it gives a lot more control. So wherever I push the motor, tell it where to go, the boat's going to follow. But the great thing about this iPilot motor is it incorporates GPS as well. So it gives you probably the best function out there, I think, is spot lock. It's like an electronic anchor. When I push the spot lock button on my remote here, it'll actually put a waypoint down and the motor will drive itself, it'll hold us on that waypoint. So if I found on my sounder a little drop off with fish holding on it, a reef, if I'm fishing along a bank and see a tree on the edge and want to fish that tree, I can put the spot lock on, the motor will turn itself on and it'll hold us right over that spot. So there's actually no need to position the boat at all. The motor's going to do everything and we just fish to where we want to fish. So basically all iPilot motors come standard with a wireless remote, which I've got hanging around my neck here, and you can control everything you need to do with the electric with this remote. You've got turn left, turn right, propeller on, propeller off. You can increase speed, decrease speed. It's got a rabbit function there, so if we're drifting in somewhere, we want to come out quickly, we hit that rabbit function, it puts it automatically to 100%, takes you out, hit that rabbit button again, it'll take you back to the speed you were going. The spot lock button, so that'll allow you to save up to 6 spots on the electric motor, so A, B, C, D, E, F, and you can recall those spots. So if you've been fishing a spot, caught a few fish, the fishing's gone quiet, gone to another one, you can actually then go back, recall the spot you're at before, and go back to it. Another great function we've got on the motors here is a autopilot function. And basically what the autopilot function will do is if you're fishing along a bank or something like that, you can put your autopilot on, put the whatever speed you want to go, and it'll automatically adjust. So if the wind starts blowing you in, it'll adjust, take you out again. If the current starts pushing you out, it'll adjust and take you back in again. So really, you've only got to do very fine tuning steering to adjust the course you want to go. And another great function with the iPilot motors is the recorded track. So where I use this a lot is if you're doing a bit of trolling or nighttime fishing on some of the dams. I do a lot of bass and barra fishing at nighttime. You can go and save a track around the weed edge of the dam at daytime, come back at nighttime, you can recall that track and the motor will take you right along that track again. So when you're throwing your lures in near the weed edges and things like that, it takes all the guesswork out. On a dark night, you always turn your torch on, you're hitting the bank, hitting the weed. With the electric motor, with the recorded track, you know you're a cast off that weed all the time. So there's a lot of features in a small unit like this, but it actually, it definitely helps you catch a lot more fish if you use it right. So it's great having control with the wireless remote here, but me, I do a lot of lure fishing, and I still like to have my hands free to cast a rod, fight the fish and things like that. So I choose the saltwater Rover iPilot, and basically that gives me the option of a foot pedal as well. So I can steer the motor with my foot, little momentary button there, turn the prop on and off. I can activate the autopilot, the constant button, also got steering on the back of the motor there with your speed control sliding along the right there. So what that allows me to do is if I'm fishing along a bank or somewhere like that, I can actually put my foot on, I can just be you know, casting my lures out along the bank. If I hook a good fish and it's going in the bank, I can steer out with my foot, keeping my hands on the rod and reel while I fight that fish. Because a lot of the time, if you hook a fish in near structure, you've got to take your hand off the rod to use the iPilot. It might get back in there and bust you up. So it allows me to fish hands-free with this foot control. So having the option of the hand control and the foot control, the fish don't really stand a chance. So I've just activated the spot lock function. We're just fishing the sunken wall at Pinkenbar at the mouth of the Brizzy River here. We've got a nice little rock bar here with the current really rushing over it, so we'll be throwing a few little lures around and hopefully picking up a brim. But with the spot lock function, now that I've activated it, the motor will actually put that waypoint down, hold itself on that waypoint, so I'll hold just a cast off this wall here without having to worry about steering at all. Okay, and fish jump on now would be good.
Now we know how impressive these electric motors can be, let's put them to the test.
So on this boat here, it's a pretty big boat. Got a 200 Evinrude on the back. It's 5.5 metres long. I need a pretty big electric motor to pull the boat along, especially in a bit of wind and current. So I've got an 80-pound thrust, which is 24 volts. So I need two 12-volt deep cycle batteries to run it. But you can get a 55-pound thrust, which will go on a smaller boat. It's only one 12-volt deep cycle battery to run it, and you'll get pretty much most of the day on most boats out of that. And a 12-volt 55-pound thrust will pretty well suit most boats up to about 4.75 metres. Once you go over that size, the boats are usually getting bigger, heavier. There's a bit of wind and current round. You want that more grunt of the 80-pound thrust to pull you around and into it. So pretty much we can put a motor on any boat up to about 6.5 to 7 metres. So depending on the sort of fishing you do. We've even got a lot of guys now who are going outside or offshore jigging kingies and chasing big snapper on plastics, or even bait fishing for snapper. And in the days gone past, it was either drift past them or throw the anchor out, which can be a pretty time-consuming process. Now they're getting one of these iPilot motors. They're putting the spot lock on. They fish a spot for 15 or 20 minutes. There's no fish there. Pull the electric up, move to the next spot. You know, you've taken 20 minutes of anchoring out of the equation. So no matter what sort of fishing you do, there's probably going to be a Minn Coder out there that's going to suit you.
We didn't need to wait all too long before Tim hooked up out here at the mouth of the Brisbane River.
Alright, so we've just been fishing along this rock wall here, throwing this little atomic crankbait over the top, and basically as that tide comes in over the top of that rock wall, the fish will come up and feed on oysters, shrimps, little bait fish and things like that getting washed over the top. So this little lure imitates that well. But we've got the wind blowing onto it, so we couldn't just drift along that rock wall because the wind would blow us right on top of it. The Minn Coder at the front of the boat there, we've been holding the nose out, casting our lures, putting them on the top where the fish are, and got this lovely little brim. No worries about being legal. And if we didn't have the electric motor, we wouldn't have caught it. So when you're out there fishing, the fish are getting harder to catch these days. Every bit of technology you can have on your side to help, it's going to help you get results like this.
A big thanks to Tim for showing us the benefits of an electric motor on your fishing rig.
Okay, so when you decide it's time to upgrade, consignment is one of the most effective and hassle-free methods of selling your original vessel. Basically what that means is when you trade in your old boat, you may ask them to sell your existing boat for you, which means that that boat will be sitting in their boatyard, available for people to have a look at. Make sure your current insurer covers you and your vessel whilst it's on consignment at that dealership.
We've been fishing up a storm here out on Lake Moogerah, but there certainly is more to Moogerah than just the fishing. The lake boasts a fantastic camping and caravan park. Let's meet Amanda to find out more of what this park and lake have to offer you, your mates and your family.
Hi, my name's Amanda. Welcome to Lake Moogerah Caravan Park, a beautiful part of the scenic rim. We offer unpowered and powered camping grounds, on-site cabins and a local lake house, waterfront camping. We hire kayaks, tinnies and a 12-person barbecue boat to use on the lake. At Easter time there's a big amphitheatre just right adjoining the caravan park, and they hold a big Easter passion play event, and that draws thousands and thousands of people out here. And then at Easter time as well we have a huge big fireworks display that's set off on the lake. They display it from pontoons out in the water, and all locals and campers and everybody sort of comes for that reason, knowing that the fireworks display is going to happen. For people that are camping out here, the skiing is a huge thing. Being able to bring your boat out camping right on the water's edge with your boat, I know that that's really popular with people, because a lot of places you go to now don't let you go right to the edge, or you can't camp with your boat in the water. And also the fishing is huge out here because it's a stocked lake by the local stocking group. Fishing is great all year round because there's always an abundance of fish. So some of the busiest times of the year out here are Australia Day long weekend, definitely the Easter long weekend, and Christmas and New Year are getting really popular. A lot of people starting to book in for that, so it's really important now with the limited camping ground area that people do call and book in advance, especially for powered sites, the cabin and the house. You do need a stocked impoundment permit to fish on the lake, and you can get those over the internet, or we do have them here. You can purchase them when you come out. The minimum one you can have is a weekly, or you can get a yearly pass if you are a regular fisher. There's still definitely unpowered sites available for those times. The powered sites are either booked or there'd be one or two maybe left, but mostly the powered sites would be booked out. We do have some new powered sites that are on the water's front over in the Dam View campground. They're really great because you've got a nice grassy powered site that's right on the water's edge. Pontoon boat is great. It seats up to 12 adults, and you can take it out for sunset cruises or early morning cruise, or there is a midday cruise, which is the longer one. But it's a beautiful way to see the dam because you can get right up into the gorge and close to the wall and everything and have a look. You can fish off it as well if you wanted to, but it's got a barbecue on it, so you can take people out for lunch or dinner. It's just a really nice way to see the dam, and you don't actually have to have a boat licence to drive the pontoon boat. You just there's a pre-boarding demonstration before you take it out. Same with the tinny as well. You don't have to have a boat licence for that either, but you do need to book that because it is quite popular. Because Lake Moogerah is located so conveniently only 90 minutes from Brisbane, it is a great place to bring your family for the day. We do have a day area. If you're just coming out with your boat, there's public amenities there for you to use, and you can hire the kayaks or the tinnies just for the day. SEQ Water manages the dam, and their hours for operation are 6 a.m. till 6 p.m, so that's the times that you're allowed on the dam. Well, that's just some of the basic information about what we have to offer here, and we look forward to seeing you out and about at Lake Moogerah sometime this summer.
Well, that's all from the team here on the Boat Show for 2012. We hope you've enjoyed the mere fraction of on-water action we've discovered here on the beautiful southeast Queensland waterways, and we encourage you to get out there and enjoy them this Christmas. For more information, head over to our website, catch up on past episodes, and grab an idea or two for your own boating adventure. Be sure to stay in touch on our Facebook and post a photo or video of your latest boating trip. We look forward to seeing you again after the Christmas break. Remember to stay safe have fun on the water.